Lema has said so many kind things about me, which I think is a bit exaggerated. I'm the one who's lucky to be working with her. She's she's visionary, brave, and she's also accommodating, especially for young working mothers. So I'm very lucky to have her as my boss. Today I'm going to talk to you briefly about our Gender and Security Sector Reform Program. This program, the aim of this program is to enhance the capacity of security sector institutions to promote women-sensitive policies and operations in Africa. You may be wondering why we are working with security sector institutions. Well, obviously, they are the primary institutions when it comes to maintaining peace and order in a nation. And these institutions, particularly in Africa, have been perceived to be sectors for men only. As a result of that, women's needs and interests are ignored in these institutions, and women are highly underrepresented in these institutions, particularly at decision-making levels. And this affects the operation of these institutions, both from within and also the way they relate to the communities that they serve. And one thing that I would like to point out is that most of the women working in security sector institutions come from rural areas. Some of them are single mothers who have lost their husbands to war and, or maybe abandoned by their husbands. So they are struggling women working in these sectors, and their needs and interests are ignored by the sector. We have worked in the security sector institutions such as the police, immigration, and the armed forces in Ghana. We worked in Liberia in the past, and currently we are implementing this project in Sierra Leone with the Sierra Leone Ministry of Defense and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. Before starting this program, Netsanet Africa did a gender assessment to find out what the needs are, where the gaps are. And we realized that, first of all, the whole Ministry of Defense of Sierra Leone did not have a gender policy or equal opportunities policy. There was poor understanding of issues affecting women such as sexual harassment and gender-based discrimination. There were discriminatory practices in promotion. Women were highly underrepresented. Still, out of 10,000 or more armed forces in Sierra Leone personnel, only 4% are women. And there is only one brigadier general, a female brigadier general in the entire armed forces of Sierra Leone. The women in the sector, working in that sector, do not have, they suffer from lack of confidence, mainly because most of them come from backgrounds with low educational backgrounds, and they are not also recognized and appreciated by the institutions that they work for. So because of that, we don't find many women at high level within the security sector in Sierra Leone. And there are also lack of gender sensitivity in deployment of female officers. For instance, they do not have separate toilets for women. They are given uniforms that are not fitting for the type of work that they do. There is complete insensitivity when it comes to women's deployment. Since Netsanet Africa started working there have been some changes made. It's not been an easy process because the sector is male-dominated. It's not even a sector that wants to work with civil society organizations, let alone an organization that talks about women's rights. So it's been a tough process, but we've made some changes. We were able to establish a Gender and Equal Opportunities Office within the Ministry of Defense of Sierra Leone. And the office is headed by the only female Brigadier General of the Armed Forces. Now the Ministry of Defense of Sierra Leone has a Gender and Equal Opportunities Office, a Gender and Equal Opportunities Policy. They have a policy against sexual harassment against women. They also have 30 gender focal points throughout the various wings of the Armed Forces of Sierra Leone. And we have conducted capacity building training for the 30 gender focal points on gender issues and gender mainstreaming. We were also able to sensitize senior management of the armed forces. It's not easy. There's still resistance to our work, but we're making some headways. And just 3 weeks ago, we were in Sierra Leone, and we conducted confidence building training for 60 female officers within the armed forces. That is just to boost their confidence so that they can be assertive and also fight for their rights within the army. And what was really interesting for us is to see the changes. When they came into the training, they came in as women who lacked the confidence to even put their points across. But after the training, every day we were seeing changes, and they were able to talk about their interests and what they want. They were able to articulate their needs and interests, and that was really encouraging for us. And based on the demands made by the women officers, we are going to do a basic computer training for about 80 female personnel of the armed forces in March. And they have also called upon us to do more training so that they will be able to push forward their interests and their needs. And we also did a training for them on negotiation so that they will be able to negotiate